Welcome back. Now, problems with South Africa's city infrastructure are not insurmountable. Experts gathered for the Engineering Symposium here in Johannesburg. They say it's just about getting the basics right. They're looking for solutions to structural shortcomings affecting metros like Johannesburg, Durban and Cape Town. eNCA reporter Hloniam Timkulu has details.
A city bursting at the seams. Johannesburg is the hallmark of the country's infrastructure crisis, affecting health, transport, housing, water and electricity infrastructure.
But unfortunately, we're an economic hub of the continent and we have no other way. People will still flock into Johannesburg. We're receiving about 10,000 people coming from all over South Africa and the continent on a month-to-month.
It's a problem not unique to the country's economic hub and one that needs long-term solutions.
We have seen in African cities where you will have a city and the city get overpopulated to a point where there will be an establishment of another city because during the period that city would have not been developed constantly.
Residents note the strain on urban infrastructure.
So, yeah, and I think the government doesn't really make that much effort in terms of retaining or getting back the buildings that have been hijacked.
Here at the rank, there's no lights, so if they can try to fix that, yeah, that's my concern.
So if they can maybe try to maintain the things which are there already. I'm not saying they are bad things. As you can see, we are surrounded by beauty, but maintaining the things which we have.
Despite some residents' cynicism at the state of South Africa's cities, professionals at the Engineering Symposium are more positive. For them, it's about action. Things like planning properly, putting those plans in motion, as well as maintenance of infrastructure.
Pretty sure that maintenance is a major issue. That's why we say things seem to be falling apart. The structures are, and all civil and infrastructure is reasonably resilient. I think there's a bit of a backlog in maintenance, but it appears from what the mayor and what the deputy minister were saying this morning that has been realised, and we see that as engineers that more money needs to be spent on maintenance, not just opening new things. We need to maintain what we have beautifully.
So we need to invest more funds in terms of doing proper master planning, because if you do proper master planning, it takes care of growth to avoid what we're seeing happening in these cities.
You know, rather than making promises that we can't deliver. And I think the community accepts the fact that, you know, there are stresses, you know, in life there's stresses throughout. But if you don't communicate it properly, etc., you know, people get despondent.
The experts agree that investing in skills development in the engineering sector will also go a long way to address municipalities' structural woes. Hloniam Timkulu, Johannesburg.
Now, the citizen-led movement March and March has been on the streets of